Here we go.
Don't stop believing. Tonight, we're back for another episode of You Dab Me a Hello. This is episode 32. I'm very excited about this one. This one has so many songs in it that we had to cut it into two pieces of a decade. Top 80s male pop songs of the 80s. How's everybody doing?
Good. I'm excited about this episode.
I hope I'm still not laggy, but I'm pretty sure I am.
You may be, yes.
A little bit.
Yes. Hi to everybody. Thanks for joining us. Well, we've got a ton of stuff to do to catch up. So, Andy, if you want to, solve your life's issues while we do so, that would be great. But thank you guys for joining us. Someone's already starting early. Is that you, Mike?
Maybe.
But hey, thank you for joining us. This is the top 80s male pop songs of the 80s. And it's actually just 1980 to 1984 because, like I said, we have so many songs. It took us forever just to get us down to the top 16. We had 33 that we all originally agreed on and had to kick out a bunch of stuff. So at this rate, you're lucky we got the 16 we have here. But I'm very excited. Guys, do you remember the 80s? I mean, we were born in the early 80s, so we were pretty young. But looking back on it, what are some memorable moments from the 80s that you guys, that stick out for you?
Pooping my pants.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Fraggle Rock. Nintendo.
I was born.
I
remember that.
My wrestling buddy. You remember that?
Yep.
Like... You remember?
Every minute. Yeah.
Oh, that's frightening.
Well, MTV was launched in 1981. We have what else? I don't know. Word was released. Microsoft Word.
Oh, wow.
Bigfoot.
I think
Monster Truck Bigfoot.
On my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The VMAs began in 1984.
Oh, okay.
Coca-Cola introduced New Coke.
That went over well.
Yep, it did, yeah. The wreck of the Titanic was discovered in 1985. I remember that. I was one. Chernobyl happened. One of the most interesting things to ever happen of all time. Still
look like the worst things that ever happened.
I know. Challenger happened.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. So, and Andy's gone.
Oh, no.
Yep. The Berlin Wall was torn down in the 80s. So that's some good news, right? And the Nintendo Game Boy also was introduced.
1989, right?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, the first mobile phone came out in 83, Motorola. So that's fun. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Hey, sorry. I got some other headphones because I have a feeling I'll be switching over to my phone at some point.
So, if you don't know, Mike and I are live from Rhode Island, and Andy is live from the middle of the woods.
I kid you not. It was either a bobcat or some sort of small lion. People apparently have seen a mountain lion somewhere in my area in the past 3 weeks. It went across the street into my woods. We went out and it looked at us. And I watched it cross the street.
I thought you were about to say that's what installed your internet, and that's why
it probably chewed the wires, probably.
Well, yeah, that's it, guys. Hey, share with us at home any 80s memories that you guys have outside of just, music. There was so much going on in the 80s, not to mention the birth of 3 very awesome dads. We were actually born fathers in the 80s. So, yeah. So it's good stuff. But if you have any good stuff, I think Tiffany wants to know, where in the world do you live now?
I'm in Connecticut. I'm not too far. So that whatever animal that is headed your way into Rhode Island.
I know you're acting like we don't have that in Cranston. I have bobcats and foxes and coyotes. So it's ton of stuff. But
my wife was saying, she's like, could be a cougar. She's like, what's a cougar? And I was like, don't Google that.
All right. Well, hey, I'm excited. Let's get right to it. We've got a great bracket here today that is not being shared currently by me. I just tried to share it right now, and it's gone.
Before we get into that, there's some stuff we gotta talk about because, one, if you're on BandLab, there's somebody called by the name of Angie. She has her own YouTube channel, Angified, who is helping us stream it on there as well for some more viewership. So her and along with Tony, who's doing the production, big ups to them and the support. And then we, mask mandates are kind of going down, and we got to hang out for the first time in forever a couple of weeks ago. And we had a little fun, I was going to say a little dad fun. That sounded weird, so that's why I didn't say it. But I was like, I'm going with it.
But then you said it.
But then I said it. I was like, you know what? You know
what? We have a video of some of this daddy fun, too. And here it is.
You'll all notice I did not do that.
No, you were the smart one out of the group.
Yep. My ribs are still intact.
Yeah,
I'm actually doing pretty well. I did not hit the ground like a bowling ball like Andy did.
I didn't hit like a bowling ball. I hit like a sack of crap. That's what I hit. That slap. I was like, it's not gonna really pick up that well in the slow mo. Oh no, it like doubled it.
Hey, it's been a good start to the late spring, early summer. We are vaccinated and having fun, and I'm excited for the next couple weekends here to kind of get out and do some fun things. I hope you guys are all doing the same at home, staying safe and getting out with your family and stuff. Anything going on in your lives, guys, this week?
Same crap as you. Actually, we saw family, and Mike and I were together this weekend, so that was a lot of fun, and
that was nice.
Feel like we're getting back to normal a little bit. So
nice. Yeah. All right.
Just doing around the house stuff. My arms and back and chest muscles hurt because I did yard work. And it's been a while since I've done that much yard work. I dethatched my front lawn. That's a dad thing to do. Filled an entire lawn bag with dead grass clippings. That's how long it's been since I've dethatched my lawn. That was the worst experience.
So I became a homeowner this year for the first time, and I've realized that I have slowly, or very quickly turned into a dad even more. I look forward to job lot ads every week, and I also am looking for mulch sales. So I'm waiting for those 2 for 10, 2 for 5, or whatever it is. Mulch sales.
You should see me on the riding mower. I got my glasses on, but then I also have protective eye gear over it at the same exact time. Let me tell you, I get some looks.
You wear your mask on the.
All the elderly women in the neighborhood are like, oh my.
Oh man. Well, hey, this is it. We've got a great lineup of music here, and you probably can't see any of that unless you're watching us on the big screen. But we have everything from the Boys of Summer with Don Henley all the way down to Michael Jackson's Thriller. We did cap people at 2 songs apiece. So Michael Jackson, I think, originally had like 9 songs.
Yeah, something like that.
Journey had like 6 or 7 songs. So we did cut them down to just 2 per half decade. So again, this is our 1980 to 1984. So if you're wondering where your 1988 hit is, it is in another episode in the future. We are just doing the first 5 years. But we probably should get right to it, unless you guys have anything else that we need to shout out to or talk about.
Ain't nothing to it, just to do it.
All right, well, here we go.
So
our first song. Our first song is "The Boys of Summer" by Don Henley versus "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey.
I'm gonna let you guys talk this one out first.
All right, I already know where Mike stands, but I'm going with "Don't Stop Believin'."
Yeah, I mean, first off, Don Henley, Eagles, great, but I was just never a huge fan of "The Boys of Summer." It's a good song. I think the Ataris covered it later in life, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. But "Don't Stop Believin'," man, it's the perfect rock song. It's an anthem. So I'm going to go for Journey, "Don't Stop Believin'." Good.
I don't have to say anything.
Well, what would you have said?
I expressed my discontent for the band Journey, and this song in particular, at the last family outing we were at.
You're still part of the family?
I am still part of the family.
Much disgust of the family.
Yeah, most people are like, "What? You don't like that song?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just don't."
I'm pretty sure our grandfather threw a meatball at you, but
I don't know where he got it from. We didn't even make meatballs.
Yeah, I know. he just randomly brought in a meatball into the family function.
So I saw Journey live with second white guy as the singer. It wasn't original white guy. But it was really good. I saw it in like 2004 at URI, and they did set 1 was all hits that I'd never heard of, and set 2 was the greatest hits. That thing was like 3.5 hours long. I had like 10th row seats. It was awesome at the Ryan Center, so it was great.
Cool. Let's talk about us, the Boys of Summer.
I forgot we talk about that stuff.
We do.
Yeah, I love the Eagles. I'm not sure. Did Don? I don't know. Someone else talk, please.
What? Well, you were going to ask a question about Don Henley.
I just don't know if I know much else from him as a singles artist, but I also didn't want to sound stupid. But I don't think he has that many other singles. Eagles obviously were huge, but Don Henley by himself, was there other songs I'm missing?
I think so.
Yeah, there were some other songs that he released, but this was his first breakout. Okay. And after leaving the Eagles, he wanted to kind of go into seclusion, but he still wanted to write music. He only wrote the lyrics to the song. He didn't actually write the actual music. It was written by Mike Campbell, who writes with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Okay. But then all of a sudden this song became a hit. And then after this song hit, they released 4 more singles off this record. And then he had no choice but to actually be in the spotlight because his songs were so popular. Yeah. And it is listed at number 416 out of 500 for Rolling Stone's greatest songs of all time. So
nice. Well, yeah. Anything else to add?
I was gonna say that demo is gonna be the Tom Petty Breakers song, and they're experimenting with the Lindrum drum machine. Here's my drum machine facts. I'm bringing it back. So the Lindrum also created Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Relax, Aha's Take on Me, Tears for Fears Shout, Madonna's Lucky Star. So you hear those epic sounds. You talked about the Ataris doing the remake of the song, which I love. I really like.
It's a great cover.
Yeah. They played that version at the 2003 Home Run Derby, and ESPN had used it in various promos for the event. And Don Henley basically pulled it, and he was like, no, because ESPN had hired Rush Limbaugh at the time, and like most people, Henley couldn't stand Limbaugh, and I was like, nope, I refuse to give you a license to my song until I get it. So, stand it up. Yeah.
All right. Well, next up, we have Uptown Girl by Billy Joel versus In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Man, All these are going to be tough, I think, for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I am going to go with In the Air Tonight over Uptown Girl.
Yeah. Same.
Oh,
Same.
okay, easy
Same.
enough.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Billy Joel, amazing. Uptown Girl, such a fun, upbeat song. I remember watching the music video when I was a kid quite a bit. But yeah, what do you guys think?
So, speaking of that music video, I have some notes here. I want to talk about how bad I feel for Billy Joel. So back in the day, when he was married to Christy Brinkley, who was in the video, so sad. He wasn't dating her when he started writing the song. He was dating a different supermodel, Elle McPherson. So, he had to break up with one supermodel and then just started dating another one. Feel real bad for him. But he actually started writing the song when he was with Elle McPherson. And then as he was dating Christy Brinkley, he slightly changed the song. Ultimately, the song became about her. Real sad,
Yeah.
Tough
Billy
life.
Joel even said, the fact that I can attract such a beautiful woman as Christy should give hope to every ugly guy in the world. Oh, Heart of the Matter. Yeah, Tina just brought up. I forgot about that Don Henley song. That's a great song.
But he did say the entire album, this song in particular, was sort of his tribute to 60s pop music. And this song was written in the style of the Four Seasons. And Billy Joel tried to mimic Frankie Valli on this one. So it's kind of why it has, it's kind of why it has that vibe to it. Great song.
Yeah, in the background. Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. We have I'm Still Standing by Elton John versus Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield.
This is a really tough one.
This is a tough one. I'm Still Standing has come back into my life because of the movie Sing.
Yep.
I think it was.
Yep.
So the kids are singing this song all over again. But then Jesse's Girl came back into my life because Rick Springfield Rick Springfield just covered, did a sequel to the song called Jesse's Girl 2 with Coheed and Cambria. And it's amazing. And it's basically about how nobody told him that Jesse's Girl was crazy and he got stuck with her later. And so I am going to go with Jesse's Girl on this one. And yes, I am Jesse's Girl now.
Yes. I originally going into this had one song in mind, and this past week I created a Spotify playlist with these songs on, and I've listened to it about 3 or 4 times, and I changed my mind. I'm also going with Jesse's Girl.
Okay. All right.
I would have gone with Elton John, but that's only because I respect him so much as a songwriter, and also kind of what he's done. As far as, let's see.
Well, he didn't write it.
No, he didn't. But he wrote it with one of his writing partners. But I mean, just him as a musician and his persona and his sexuality and what he's done as far as making that sort of normal, I guess. You know what I mean? When he was a larger than life character, people had speculations, and then when he came out, people are just like, oh yeah, whatever, cool, he's awesome, yeah, whatever. And that sort of got the ball rolling for others to really be themselves without having to hide anything, which is really cool. But like you were saying, Andy, he did not write the song until the lyrics were written by Bernie Taupin, is someone who's written over 30 songs with Elton John, and this being one of them. So he'll write the lyrics, and then Elton John writes the music to the lyrics instead of, it's usually the other way around. Well, people will write the music and then write the lyrics to it. He does the opposite, which is really cool.
Nice. Yeah. I just think there are many other songs for me with Elton John that I ended up liking a lot more, mainly 70s songs. He had Your Song, which is one of my favorites from him. Tiny Dancer, Rocket Man. Daniel. Daniel's another really, really good. I like his slow songs. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Candle in the Wind. So I mean, he's been going strong since the 60s. So it's pretty crazy, that we're kicking him out currently.
And now he's Eminem's sponsor, actually.
Yeah.
So, you think about the crazy relationship that they had at the beginning where Eminem was just dropping bombs on everybody and anybody in his lyrics. And one of them was Elton John. And there was, obviously controversy in that. Now they're like best buds. And, it's super cool that they, support each other like that.
All right. Well, next up is another. No, this isn't that tough. Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners. I feel bad for Dexy on this one because I do love that song and I think it could go places, but not when it's against Billie Jean.
Yeah, Billie Jean.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer on that one.
Well, it's a good thing we three of us don't have any. I can attract such a.
Yeah, that's right.
So it looks like pretty much everybody agrees with this. Michael Jackson. It's going to be tough because Michael Jackson dominated 80s pop, possibly 90s pop. That's debatable. And I agree, Kevin. It is overplayed. But it's overplayed because it's been released for 40 years. So I mean, it's been played a very long time. But it's such a great song, such an iconic music video. So Billie Jean is moving on, but
I mean, I kind of feel that way about Come On Eileen. It's a good song, but it's not something I want to listen to all the time. Whereas if Billie Jean comes on, as soon as like that intro comes in, like you're really like, yeah, all right. But Come On Eileen was definitely an original song for that era because it was just a completely different sound. At that time you had a lot of synthesizers being used and things like that.
Yep.
And in this song there was no synthesizers whatsoever. They had banjos, accordions, fiddles, a saxophone. You just weren't hearing that at that point. And they made a pop hit out of it. And funny enough, when this hit number 1 in the US, it actually took Billie Jean off the top spot. So Billie Jean's coming back with revenge right here. I'm not gonna let that go.
Yeah, Come On Eileen is really interesting because of how it's played. Come On Eileen has many, many tempo changes throughout it. It has 3 different key changes throughout it. Like you said, it's mainly instrumental. There isn't any 80s synthesizer music. And it comes from a band who's basically a one-hit wonder. And this song is on our top 16 list with Michael Jackson, who has countless number 1 hits. I mean, some of the first music I can remember listening to as a child was Michael Jackson on 45 records and the other kind that I can't remember what the number is. But
33 to 30.
33 and a 30. Yeah. But yeah, it's Billie Jean all the way. Anything else you guys want to say about Dexy?
Yeah, I know people joke about the name of the song, being an innuendo for something. But there may actually be some truth to that because the lyrical content of the song is actually based on a true story. So Eileen was a real person that Kevin Rowland, the singer of Dexys Midnight Runners, actually grew up with. They were actually in a romantic relationship at the age of 13 that advanced to the next stage, we'll say, without going into too much detail.
Holding hands, yep.
Yeah, holding hands, yep, and all that stuff. But Rowland himself was raised Catholic. So obviously, sex is a taboo subject when it comes to the Catholic Church. So this song was a combination of his upbringing and his relationship with this girl that he had at the time. And if you go back and read the lyrics now, it makes a little bit more sense. So I'll just leave it at that.
Mike, let me ask you: do you like the group Bush?
I mean, they're all right.
They're all right. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say most people in the '90s, you know, they liked that group, and their debut, 16th Stone, actually produced by the same people who produced this song.
Oh, interesting.
Well. Yeah, which is Clive Langer. I hope I pronounced that right. And Alan Winstanley. So
hit me with the facts.
Hit me with the wet facts.
All right. Next up, we've got Maneater by Hall & Oates versus Tainted Love by Soft Cell.
Maneater.
Wow, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Maneater also, and only because Tainted Love is a cover and not an original.
It is.
Okay. I mean, it's still the popular one.
Well, I mean, does it matter that Gloria Jones, who sang the original, said that Soft Cell's version is actually the best version of the song? She said that she loved the emotion in his voice, and their version was far better than mine.
All right. Well,
Yep.
there you go.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say not good enough to make it further on our list,
No.
but yeah.
But that vocal take was actually his first take. They recorded it multiple times, and the take that we heard in the song was actually just a demo that he sang, just like a scratch track almost. But after that, they couldn't really find anything that had that sort of tone to it that matched the song. So they kept the original take. And also, this was a throwaway. This cover song that they were recording wasn't meant to be as popular as it was. They were deciding between covering this or The Night, which is a Frankie Valli song. And they chose this song to record, and it became a huge hit. So,
right.
There you go.
All right. Well, hey, we've got Maneater moving on. Anything else you guys want to talk about with Tainted Love?
Rihanna redid it.
Oh, really?
Well, she sampled it on SOS Rescue Me.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a great song. Whenever it comes on, I love it. I like listening to it. It's a good song. But Maneater is definitely the better song of the two. All right. Well, hey, moving on. For me, easy, but maybe not. Careless Whisper by Wham and Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. I want to hear from the audience on this one who's listening in, because this is very different styles. Eye of the Tiger versus Careless Whisper. What do you guys think?
Careless Whisper for me. Mostly for the video that Mike showed me this weekend. What is it? What is his name? Like
sexy sax man.
Yeah, so Sexy Sax Man plays the sax solo in just like places where you shouldn't, like in the middle of like the grocery store and like Walmart. He'll be up on like, they kick him out of so many places, like
he was in a food court,
with no shirt on, no shirt on, just playing. And they're like, "You got to leave," and he's like, "Okay."
The best part is when the guards are like dragging him out, you hear someone in the back go, "He doesn't like George Michael. He doesn't like George Michael."
And they're like, "What's that song again?" And he's just like, I was like, we're watching it, just like crying.
So, yeah, man, these are huge songs in very different ways. Eye of the Tiger from Rocky 3, maybe it was, was a huge rock song. And then you have Careless Whisper, which just makes you feel feelings. Just good stuff. So I'm going to go with Careless Whisper as well.
Careless Whisper for sure.
Wow, 3 for Careless Whisper over Eye of the Tiger. But that's where we are. What do you guys want to say about Eye of the Tiger? It was on Rocky 3. I know that much.
Yep, Rocky 3. The crazy thing about this was Sylvester Stallone specifically had asked for Survivor to write this song. So I guess someone who was trying to do the soundtrack for the film had played some of the songs from Survivor to Sylvester Stallone. And they were like, "Oh, we kind of like this sound." And Sly was like, "Yeah, I definitely need these guys to write a song." So he actually called them I'm going to do my best Sylvester Stallone impression here.
All right,
he called Jim, I want to say Peterick. Yeah, Peterick, and Frankie Sullivan, who were the primary songwriters, and he left messages on their answering machines. So our answering machines were kind of new back then. So when you had a message, like, you knew it was important. So they said, I hit the playback button and heard, "Hey, yo, Jim, there's a nice message you got there. This is Sylvester Stallone." They didn't think it was actually him. Yeah, boo, boo, get out of here. But yeah, there you go. So they actually recorded 2 versions. They recorded one version at a studio in Chicago, and that was the version that made it into the film because they had to get the music in so they could put it into the movie. But then for the record, they went back and recorded again, and that's actually a different version of the song.
Now, I think the most important fact here is that Weird Al recorded a parody of this song called "The Rye or the Kaiser," which finds Rocky working at a deli, still punching slabs of meat from time to time. I need to go watch that video. I never knew that existed.
You forgot that song was subtitled Rocky 13.
Yes, it did. Yes. Which I feel that they have made 13 movies.
Is it weird that the first thing I think about when I see "Hey Yo" is Razor Ramon?
No, that's exactly what I think of.
And not Rocky.
Hey Yo.
All right. So
Hey, yo,
we've got, that's a great song, by the way. But we've got "Any Way You Want It" by Journey.
Oh, man.
Versus
Sorry.
"When Doves Cry" by Prince.
Yeah, I had a background
Again,
vocal.
Very, very different songs here. Journey, the rock song "Any Way You Want It" versus "When Doves Cry," a very poppy song. So what do you guys think?
I'm going to embrace this purple aura behind me, and I'm going with Prince because that song is fantastic.
What
and not because I don't like Journey. That song is actually fantastic.
It's a great song.
What do you think, RJ?
So "When Doves Cry" actually, there's a cover of it on the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack from 1996 where the singer Quindon Tarver does a version of it. It's so good. That's actually where I really started to like that song. But "Any Way You Want It," man, that's so good. "When Doves Cry."
All right. I'm in agreement as well.
Okay,
"When Doves Cry." Yeah, for sure. All the way.
And you know what? I only feel okay with that because we still have "Don't Stop Believing" in here. I feel like we had to move Journey forward. If I didn't, "When Doves Cry" would not have made it for me. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like I was struggling. We had a list of Journey songs that we were going to put on the list, and I struggled with coming up with the second one, and this was the one that I picked second because there's so many other ones that I love. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with this one leaving.
I mean, I love "Any Way You Want It." Honestly, they've had so many hits. This one wasn't the highest one. I mean, Billboard Hot 100, it made it to 23. But it's a great song. It was released February of 1980, so it just made it onto our list here. But it is now gone. Any other comments about "Any Way You Want It"?
It was a song that they wrote after touring with Thin Lizzy in 1979. So it was actually influenced by Thin Lizzy. So they kind of did the guitar voice kind of thing where they were playing off of each other. And then and then they wrote a song about it. That's really all I have. There wasn't too much about the song. It's a pretty simple song.
Yeah. Is it still being used in commercials and stuff? Like, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's still super popular. Like, even though it didn't really get that far. I mean, I guess 23 is, you still have the 23rd best song in the country. You're still in a good spot, but people still remember it. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey. Next up, in the final new songs of our top 16, we have "I Ran So Far Away" by A Flock of Seagulls versus "Thriller" by Michael Jackson. Again, I feel bad for A Flock of Seagulls.
I do.
But when you're going up against Thriller,
I don't feel bad for A Flock of Seagulls because they always like you're trying to enjoy yourself on the beach and they just come up and they try to take your food.
They're always eating my French fries.
I actually got into Iran playing Guitar Hero. That was one of the popular songs on Guitar Hero. It's got a great like it's so fun to play. But Thriller, obviously, for me, one of the better songs of all time. One of the best music videos, if not the best music video of all time. If you haven't seen that, by the way, if you're one of the few people who have not seen Michael Jackson's Thriller, it is a movie. It is great.
What about the ending when it's his face and he's got the green eyes? And it's like,
I know. It's no gaggle of seagulls, but we're. I'm gonna go with Thriller just in case I didn't make it clear.
Yeah,
Thriller.
I'm going with Thriller as well mostly because a seagull took my Nikolai Volkov wrestling action figure out of my hand when I was a kid on the beach and took off with it, and my mom had to buy me a new one because I was very upset. But no, like I feel like Iran. It's been stuck in my head all week. And I feel like if you were to make an 80s time capsule, like this could be the theme song of the 80s. Like you instantly get trapped into what I feel like was 1982. And I wasn't born yet, but I just feel like that's what it, like, I feel like that as you're walking down the street, you're going to the mall, like that's the theme song that's going on in your head. Because I figured that's what everybody does in 1982, right? You just go to the mall and hang out, watch a movie. What else is there to do?
Or be in detention.
Right. I mean, every movie is about that. So, I mean, the VH1 put this in their 100 greatest songs of the 80s at number 55. I think that's a little high, low. I don't think that's good enough. That's what I'm trying to say. And they also put it at number 2 on their 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. So I feel like that's a little better. So yeah, this was basically on a concept album about an alien invasion on Earth. I never knew that, but apparently this song, is about seeing an attractive female and becomes anxious, and he wants to run away from his feelings, but he can't forget her. And then they are both abducted by aliens. I need to really listen to the lyrics of the song because I missed that completely. Yeah. And they don't even like the song. I guess they do, but they feel like they had better ones, which I think is like probably most one-hit wonders artists. They're like, all right, why'd that song make us famous? Like we had like better artistically, songs. But people love it. I like it. Like I said, I've been literally singing that all day in my head.
Yeah, and this song was credited as one of the songs that really kickstarted the second British invasion in the U.S. It was one of the first videos on MTV, so it was absolutely huge once it hit. So it's a highly influential song in music culture, period, not just in the 80s, but it kind of brought a ton of music over to the US that we wouldn't have normally gotten. And his crazy hair is because he was actually a hairdresser before he sang for the band. So that explains his haircut.
And if you're a Friends fanatic, you remember that when they would go back to the 80s, Chandler would have his hair in a Flock of Seagulls type deal. I cut my hair. I totally wanted to do it tonight. Put some eyeshadow on and stuff like that.
I would have left.
RJ looks too serious. Wow. Everybody on BandLab, by the way, said Eye of the Tiger, so apparently we got that wrong.
Oof. Sorry.
The only thing I'd add here, Iran, they just came out with a new album in 2018, and it was basically 12 older songs and one new song, but they're all done with an orchestra. So Iran is done with an orchestra behind it in the new version. So I'm going to check that out at some point. But it's on the new album, Ascension.
You'd run if there was a donut shop.
You what?
I said you'd run if there was a donut shop. You
That's
actually
not
used to
very far
run.
away.
I shouldn't kid. RJ used to run.
I did. I actually ran a 5K.
Yeah.
I know that's not a lot for a lot of people, but for me,
Way
that
more than I
was
can do.
it's a marathon. But yeah, no, it was good. I did my 5K in 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes. And that was about 4 years ago now, and I have not essentially run since. But I may again. Who knows? But hey, we're in the top 8. That's it. We have 8 amazing songs right now, and we are making good time as well. So if you are trying to get to bed early, we may do it. We may do it tonight. I'm not sure, unless I just keep talking like I am currently and not getting into the top 8. But
our show, we do whatever we want.
Yeah, we do what we want. But hey, also we make music. So in the spirit of 80s amazing music, Andy and I also make 2020s okay music, and it's available on BandLab. It's available on YouTube and Spotify if you look up RJ Gunn music, or Andy is under a V-Rap, as in Velasa. I think, maybe. I don't know.
Don't spoil it.
Well, I was saying like V is in Velociraptor. It doesn't have to mean Velociraptor. It could mean, very rappy. I don't know.
Very crappy. Someone called me that, and I was like, I can use
you
that.
never know. But it is getting late, so just before we do, I think it's, what time is it?
1 more minute till the end of the night. But how could we end when it feels so right?
We haven't made a new intro in a while, so I apologize. But that song's available along with about 12 others. So if you like them, check them out on YouTube and Spotify. But we're now in the top 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
So hopefully a new one pretty soon. Yeah.
Yes, we're working on a new one. I actually have 3 in the hole, but one is actually pretty much almost done. And shut up. And I was doing fine until I looked at Andy's face. I got 3, 1 down. But no, I'm actually pretty excited about it. It's one of my favorite beats that Andy's produced in a while, because he's been producing a lot of crap. But this one is really good. I'm just kidding. I actually, he sends me things every once in a while. He's gotten super lazy. He used to name them, and now he just sends them over as dates, which is super confusing because I think of oh, this is a great one. I'll remember 423. So he used to name them really funny things like "Beauty is right outside your window" and all that deal. And now
all right, I'll start naming them again.
The date. But no, 522 is coming out soon.
No, I'm 522.
It'll probably have a name by then, or maybe I'll just keep it as 522. I'm not sure, but
we should. Let's just screw everybody up.
Well, a whole date. It'll be 5/22/84. They'll be like, "What happened on that day?" Nothing. It's about a month.
Let's look it up.
2 months after I was born. But yeah, we're in the top 8 now, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm seeing that no one left after that really long interlude, but we're still here. Don't stop.
It's just a palate cleanser. That's all it is.
However, nobody's commented in a while. They don't know what to say. Anything. We could have at least said, "Oh, I like that song," or "Hey, I've downloaded your music. It's great." But no, nothing. Just a black heart. It shows up white when I do it like that. But whatever. I think it was black originally. But yeah, "Don't Stop Believing." In the air tonight. Phil Collins. So it's Journey versus Phil Collins. "Don't Stop Believing" versus the most well-known drum solo ever. What do you guys think?
I am never going to stop believing because I believe. So I'm going with Journey on this one.
How about you, Mike?
Go ahead, RJ. Just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I feel like you should go because I'm just about to shut you down. But I do like "In the Air Tonight." I actually was it Non-Point maybe that did a cover of "In the Air Tonight." It was super good. That might not even be a name of a band, but
that is
okay. Then it was them. They did an amazing cover of that song, and then my band back in the day covered Non-Point's cover of "In the Air Tonight." So it was a cover of a cover. So I'm going to vote for "Don't Stop Believing."
Mike wouldn't have voted for that, but it's moving on.
No,
Mike.
I just don't. I just can't stand that.
Listen to your wife. She's saying, "Don't stop believing."
I have to
'Cause he-
listen to my wife.
It's because he doesn't believe. He doesn't believe.
I stopped believing a long time ago.
That's,
I mean,
sounds
this is
deep. That's for my other podcast, Mike. Chill out.
this is pretty split. You know, people are
Yeah.
going back and forth between Phil Collins and Journey.
Both
It
of
was
these
a-
songs are very iconic.
Yeah, it was a toss up for me too. I love both of these songs.
Not anymore.
Now,
That's true.
well, they're not with that company anymore, so now
Yeah.
they're just kind of.
Why'd you say that company? Like we can't talk about it.
They censor everything. They'll hear that, they'll shut the whole thing down.
It's true.
The WWF,
They'll release us from their roster.
the
Yeah.
WWF.
They don't even know that we're under contract right now. We've been getting paid.
Sorry, guys. Just to bring everyone into the personal conversation we're having, the WWE has released 26 people over the past 2 months, maybe 3 months. Everyone from announcers to referees to huge names like Braun Strowman, if you know that name, or the Iconics. So crazy news in the wrestling world. If we have another wrestling episode, I'm sure we will dive into that because there probably are many more releases to come. And also a rumored NBC buyout, which I was just reading about today.
We'll see.
But interesting stuff in the world of wrestling, unless you don't like wrestling, and then all of this is not interesting at all.
And everyone is leaving.
Yes, but Don't Stop Believing, In the Air Tonight, both great songs. But let's talk about In the Air Tonight a little bit here.
Phil Collins wrote this song about after his divorce from his first wife. He was really upset after the divorce, so he ended up leaving Genesis and then started writing some music for himself, some solo music. So that led to him writing this song on that record, Face Value. But by the time the song had come out, he was dating someone else, Jill Tavelman, who eventually became his second wife. They would divorce. Second wife. They would divorce, and he would write another album in 1993 about that divorce.
So he was like the Taylor Swift of the 80s.
He was. But so he claims that he actually offered this up as a song when he was in Genesis, and the other members of Genesis refute that fact and say they've never heard the song until he released it. So we don't know what the truth is. Maybe they're just bitter they didn't have any songs as big as this. But
yeah, and we were talking about this yesterday with Tony, who's helping produce this over on BandLab. That this song, you talk about it was divorce. There's gossip about the hidden meaning behind this song, and there's all these rumors that it's about him seeing someone drowning and just not doing anything about it. And we're talking about, like, imagine if this happened, the song came out during social media times, and how this could just like blow up with false information to people. I mean, people still believe it. I mean, he's pretty dead set on I don't know where that came from. So the rumor still lives, but it is just a rumor. It is, about something completely different, obviously.
And we got to talk about that drum solo, like that. And there were multiple takes of the song that he did. This just happened to be the one that they used, and so there wasn't a drum solo played in every recording or every iteration that Phil had played. But that just ended up being what they used on the record. And that's what everyone remembers the song for. Like when that part comes, everybody in the room stops and they're all air drumming to that part, almost like, Tom Sawyer and Rush. But the funny thing is, this drum fill was actually the same drum fill or similar drum fill was actually used by Kenny Aronoff for Jack and Diane in 1983. I think that song came out. I detest that song. But Kenny Aronoff, great drummer. Used that drum fill as well.
Yeah, he was using the Roland CR78, which also, so again, that's another drum machine. Big into drum machines. So that was also played in I Can't Go For That by Hall & Oates, Mad World by Tears for Fears. Radiohead actually uses it or has used it in live performances as well. And the way he did the drums, like throughout the entire song was just kind of very simplistic, and then just that hits you, and then literally then that hits you, and then Mike Tyson punches you just like in The Hangover.
Well, now that I did a little research into Phil Collins after after we had added this song, and I don't understand why we chose this song. Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now is probably my favorite song from him, and that was in 1984. But
I think that was on the list.
It was on our list.
I don't know why I missed it, but like I didn't fight for it. But One More Night was another one from 85, and then Groovy Kind of Love, Another Day in Paradise, which I think might be on our second list for 1989. Even in the 90s, that dude, he redid True Colors, which was a great cover. You'll Be in My Heart was another one from him. So
the Tarzan soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Only time you're going to see Phil Collins and I think NSYNC on the same record. But he's so good. But it just doesn't stack up, I guess, overall against Don't Stop Believin'. But next up, we've got Jesse's Girl versus Billie Jean by Michael Jackson.
Billie Jean.
Yeah, Billie Jean.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Jesse's Girl.
Yeah. Sorry, RJ.
Which at me. So Billie Jean. Yeah, it sounds like Billie Jean is moving on. Tina says Phil Collins wrote In the Air about his wife cheating on him. But yeah.
I didn't see that. Don't spread false. Oh, was it?
Yeah, well, so the funny thing is,
said divorce.
to go back
leave it to Andy to feel bad for Phil Collins' first wife.
To go back to that, apparently she cheated on him with some like a contractor or a painter or something. Mm-hmm. So Phil Collins was doing a live show, and he was backstage before his set started, and he saw a paintbrush and some paint, and he put those on stage next to where he was performing to let his wife know that he knew. And then he played it off as like oh no, I just thought it'd be cool for the set, but she knows better. She said publicly, like he knew exactly what he was doing. Nice. Did it on live TV. Anyway, Jesse's Girl, sorry.
Yeah, Jesse's Girl. So great song, but I had forgotten how good it was until, like I said earlier in the show, Coheed and Cambria in August of 2020 released a music video called Jesse's Girl 2, and it depicts Springfield, who supplies some of the song's vocals, basically saying like he was successful in stealing the girl away from Jesse, but realizes she's mentally unstable. And so he muses that he was likely set up by Jesse in order to be rid of the woman, and that he is now trapped in a loveless marriage with children and a future he didn't want. And it's so crazy because Rick Springfield and Coheed and Cambria's lead singer, Claudio, sound exactly alike. It's so weird hearing the song. You wouldn't even realize that he's singing the third verse, Rick Springfield. But if you haven't heard it yet, Jesse's Girl 2, Coheed and Cambria and Rick Springfield, it's really, really good. And they actually, if you know Coheed and Cambria, wrote the song off of the Blood Red Summer song melody. And so if you know Coheed, you'll recognize the background of that. But I say all that to say Jesse's Girl is a great song. It remained in the number one on the Billboard Hot 100 for quite a while. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Rick Springfield was basically two things. Just, he was an actor as well as a musician. Yep. He was Dr. Noah Drake on General Hospital. When I say that, I'm thinking of Dr. Drake Ramore. Who
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that sounds like a friend.
So he got back into music, and this song just blew up. So the producer was Keith Allen Olsen, who also worked with Fleetwood Mac, Ozzy, The Grateful Dead, White Snake, Pat Benatar, you name it. So major hits. This was kind of, I guess, a little bit of a real life story. So that's probably where most songwriters get their best material.
Yeah,
real life.
we may never find out who Jesse's girl actually was. So,
Because it wasn't Jesse.
so the story behind it, Rick Springfield actually did an interview with the website Song Facts, and he told the story. I don't know her name. It was a brief relationship I had when I was making stained glass for a while. I was going to a stained glass class in Pasadena, and I met this guy and his girlfriend. I was turned on to his girlfriend, but she was just not interested. I had a lot of angst. I went home and wrote a song about it. Then about 4 months later, I stopped going to the class and I lost contact with him. The only thing I remember is his name was Gary. I changed the name because Gary didn't sing very well. The whole thing, the whole thing is absolutely what I was feeling. He wasn't getting it. I wasn't. It was really tearing me up. Angst is an amazing motivator to write a song. Oprah's people tried to find who Jesse's girl was. They got as far back as finding the stained glass guy because I couldn't remember his name, but they said it was in the late 70s. They found him, but he had died 2 years earlier, and they'd thrown all the papers out a year after that. So we missed finding out who she was by 1 year. We may never find out who is Jesse's girl.
Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally pressed back and disappeared from the show.
Sorry I bored you with my story, RJ, that you had to leave. I
came back thinking, oh no, did I just end the broadcast and everything? Like, I was panicking really quickly, but...
you just said, oh God, Mike's talking again. Jeez, shut up.
Oh, gosh. Well, hey, we just have a couple songs left here. A couple meaning a lot more than two. But
a couple is two.
I know.
Like Jesse,
but I'm actually... Girl. Oh, here it is. All right.
Hey.
Man-Eater by Hall & Oates versus Careless Whisper by Wham. This one's actually a hard one for me. It's the battle of the mediocre songs on our podcast for the episode tonight.
What?
I mean, in comparison to some of my favorites. I'm going to go with Careless Whisper.
All right, good. At least you're making the better decision.
Yeah, I like Man-Eater, but Careless Whisper is such a good song. So I got to go with that as well.
When you first put Man-Eater on the list, I was kind of like, I don't know.
It's a great song.
Yeah, and then I listened to it again. I was like, yeah, that song kind of rocks. So I turned the table on it.
Sad to see it go.
Is that a phrase?
Yeah, I'm not like
turn the table on it.
I don't know. Is that listen,
3 in the hole?
Listen, I'm coming up with phrases that people can use after this. I'm just going to copyright them, and every time someone says it, I make I don't know, to you, dad, me, hello, sense off of it.
Are you talking about Joey there? Yeah, I turned the table on him. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
So, do you know about? So who's got their cell phone? And don't charge the bill to me. But in 2011, two fans set up a Call-in Oates.
Call-in Oates, yeah.
Call-in Oates hotline. Oates. So if you ever were in desperate need of a Call-in Oates.
Welcome to Call-in Oates, your emergency Call-in Oates helpline. To hear one-on-one, please press 1. To hear Rich Girl, please press 2. To hear Man-Eater, please press 3.
Oh, we want to hear Man-Eater. Hold on.
I don't know if we can play it.
I don't know if we're allowed to play that.
Yeah, that's going to show us though.
Okay, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we've been kicked off all
We'll never miss Man-Eater. Ever.
That is a great song. Oh, here she comes. I can sing it, right? Watch out, boy. She'll cheer you out. But anyways, Man-Eater's a great song.
You probably just got charged like $7.99.
So I call that number at least 3 other times today because it's too funny. It's too funny.
You're gonna come home at the beginning of the month and you're gonna be like, "What is this bill?"
And the number written down on this piece of paper right here.
What is this 900 number you've been dialing?
Yeah, if anyone wants to pause the video.
Hold on. Boom, there we go.
1-719-266.
There's the number.
2837. It's actually 17926 Oates is what that spells.
All right. Well, hey, if you do get charged, that is not our fault. We are not taking responsibility for the amount of times that you dial that number.
And if you are under the age of 18, make sure you get your parents' permission.
Yes. Also, you shouldn't be watching our show, more likely. You should be in bed.
Saving that in my contacts, just in case I ever need it.
When Doves Cry by Prince versus Thriller by Michael Jackson. People at home, what are your thoughts here when we're putting Prince versus Michael Jackson? This is a pretty tough situation for some of you. For me, it's not Thriller, Michael Jackson, by far.
Andy is just having an existential crisis over this one.
While Andy does have that, I have to admit something to the world today. I don't really care for Prince. Sorry.
And you're wearing a purple shirt too.
I am, yeah. I don't really. He doesn't do it for me.
Oh man.
I'll say it as I always do. We're on a podcast.
We're on a podcast. I know. That's why I'm just saying random words. So there's no dead air.
What's everybody saying? Because
everyone's saying Thriller. Everyone's saying Thriller.
Yeah.
I think they're right, though. I think they're right.
I would go with When Doves Cry. You ever shut up? When Doves Cry. I was going with When Doves Cry.
You're doing When Doves Cry?
Yep.
And I did Thriller. Mike, where are you?
I already said Thriller.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Well,
I said I have to agree with everyone.
Well, you said everyone, but then Andy ditched us, so I don't know what was happening here.
Tough choice, though. Tough choice.
Thriller moves on. Let's talk about Prince.
Man.
And the Revolution.
Like I said, first off, if you have not seen Romeo and Juliet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Claire Danes, 1996, this song is sung by a child, Quindon Tarver, who does an amazing job on it. For that song alone, there's that. First off, the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack is amazing. A lot of really good people: Garbage, Everclear, Des'ree, the Butthole Surfers, Cardigans, Radiohead. It's a great album, great movie. Go check it out. But that's where that song comes in for me a ton. Obviously, Prince does a great job. It's his song, but
yeah, and man, Prince played all the instruments on here. He originally had bass in the song, and then took it out. So his bass player was out of a job for this song.
He was still in the video though.
Yeah, and then the drums. His drummer, sorry, you're out too. We're gonna play a drum machine on here, in which he played the LM1 drum machine, which was the first programmable drum machine that actually sampled live or real drums. Man, this is such a great song. I like the Genuine remake as well. Genuine. Prince didn't like it though. He was very much of sing your own damn songs, but what does he care? He's getting a damn royalty.
He's getting a royalty check.
Yeah. MC Hammer sampled it in his song "Pray," which I'm sure cost a fortune. There's like a few artists where like if you're gonna sample them, you're probably not going to make any money anyway, so don't even bother. That's probably one of them. But, I mean, Prince still has songs coming out.
Yeah.
He's got, I forget what the number was, but he's got, like, songs in the backlog after he passed away for the next, I don't even know how many years. Like, we're going to be hearing Prince for eternity.
Yeah, I was reading stories that Prince would just record, and his recording engineer would say they'd be there for 24 hours straight sometimes, because Prince would just come up with an idea and they'd have a whole room set up, so all the instruments would be set up in the studio, and Prince would be like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, and like play a guitar part and be like, oh yeah, I got this awesome drum part, and then just go from instrument to instrument. And the only time they would leave the studio is because Prince felt bad and would let his recording engineer go home and sleep.
And then you make them pancakes.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Murphy said.
It pays off. So this song, when it was released in the US, was the #1 song in 1984. And it kept Bruce Springsteen from getting to number 1. Dancing in the Dark hit number 2. And this was the song that kept The Boss from ever getting a number 1 hit song.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey,
So
we are in our top 4.
Oh,
this is it. And I don't know if we're going to have any complaints here, but we've got Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, Careless Whisper by Wham, and Thriller by Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson does make it in with both of his hits that we had on the list, among others. What do you guys think?
This is going to be a tough Final Four.
Yeah.
I feel like this top 16 was tough. I think the first round we got through it, and after that, I already don't know what I'm going to say. So,
I think I have an idea here. I mean, I'm just going to talk real quick about Michael Jackson here. Billie Jean is a great song, not one of my favorites, but honestly came out with a ton of songs. My first record I can remember playing was Off the Wall, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, Off the Wall, She's Out of My Life, Girlfriend, all Off the Wall. And then on Thriller, you had The Girl Is Mine, Billie Jean, Beat It, Wanna Be Starting Something, Human Nature, PYT, Pretty Young Thing. Billie Jean is a great song. It's just not one of my favorites overall. So in saying all that, Don't Stop Believin' is going to be my pick for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Journey fan, as I've let that be known, but I will acknowledge how popular that song is. And I believe that it is a more popular song than Billie Jean.
Okay.
With that said, Andy, what's your pick?
My pick is Billie Jean.
Oh, okay.
So wait, I chose Don't Stop. What did you choose, Mike?
I haven't chosen anything yet because that didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. But no, I think in this round, I'm actually going to have to pick Journey.
Damn.
Yeah. And sort of cheating a little bit, kind of knowing what my choice will be for the next round. Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Billie Jean, I guess, a little bit here. I kind of went into it a little bit here, giving away some of the other hits from Thriller. Thriller being probably one of the greatest albums of all time. Mm-hmm. Billie Jean, The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. Beat It. Wanna Be Starting Something is a great song.
What's the song that? What was the last song on the album? The one that LL Cool J sampled for "Hey Lover."
I don't remember.
Gosh, why can't I remember what that is? It would be The Lady in My Life.
Yeah, Lady in My Life. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to the beginning of that, and then listen to "Hey Lover."
Rod Temperton was an English songwriter. He did a ton with Michael Jackson. He was the one who wrote "Baby Be Mine." He also had to do with "Lady in My Life" as well. But that whole album's great. I mean, and most of it was singles. It's ridiculous how many singles came off that album, if not all of them.
I think there was only 2 songs that were not released off the record.
And I used to listen to that all the time. My mom had that on record, and so I was listening to that quite a bit, along with Off the Wall. That album, I think, was 1984 as well, which was my year. It was released in 82.
83.
Sorry.
82. Yep.
82, yeah. However, so many singles came out. The last single, Thriller, came out in November of 83. So it was a ton. But talking about Billie Jean more specifically, it was a pretty simple video. I think that was the light up dance floor, right? On the sidewalk?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's where he kind of debuted the moonwalk, if I'm not mistaken.
Live, when he did 1981, maybe there was he was performing that song live.
Yeah, and the music video, I remember like the light up ground, like every block that he stepped on.
Yeah,
right?
the concrete tiles. Yeah.
So something I've been doing lately is Rolling Stone always puts out like their top 500 albums of all time, and so recently I've been like, all right, I'm just gonna start picking albums off of here that are in the top. And they listed, I think in the last one, 2013, Marvin Gaye as one of the top albums, and it was good. I liked it. And then, but Thriller is by far, I think, the greatest album of all time. For like what you said, every single song was a hit. This song has a lot of takes as to where this came about as far as the lyrics go. MJ himself was saying that it was more about his brothers, and women basically saying, "You impregnated me, and the kid is yours." Whereas,
basically about groupies, right?
Yeah, and then there's also been, I guess, rumors. I don't know if it's rumors or not, but Quincy Jones, the producer, is basically saying, no, it's about one particular woman who was basically stalking MJ, who MJ never had any, connection with. And she was saying, no, my kid is yours. It was like, showing up in places where she shouldn't be showing up. So,
apparently
what the real story is.
Yeah, apparently the woman in question was just lounging by Michael Jackson's pool one day in a bathing suit and sunglasses. But the funny thing is, according to Quincy Jones, she said that Michael Jackson was the father of one of her twins.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's a crazy person.
Billie Jean is still in heavy rotation. It receives more than 250,000 spins per week in clubs around the world. And that bass line is tight. That bass line's really good.
Yeah. It's such a simplistic beat, but it gets you moving. It's just that gets you that vibe.
Something to note as well, with the Billie Jean music video, it was really the first video by a black artist to be aired in heavy rotation on MTV. So he was very integral in helping to pioneer, black artists on MTV. And it made me like disco. It actually had that disco feel into it, which I don't generally like, but Off the Wall was straight disco. Yeah. And then Thriller had pieces of it in their music, but Thriller, the album.
It's funny that you mentioned disco. There was actually an Answer song that was written in 1983 called Superstar by Lydia Murdoch, where Murdoch adopts the persona of Billie Jean to tell Billie Jean's side of the story. I have not listened to it yet, but this was a fact that I found on the internet.
So it must be true.
Yeah. But there was never any record of Michael Jackson hearing the song, so I don't know if it's true or not. But that was released in 1983. Yeah, same year.
Well, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey has moved into our finals, and that leaves just two songs to move into the finals here. Careless Whisper by Wham or Thriller by Michael Jackson. And I think what Mike was hinting to earlier is Thriller by Michael Jackson is my pick to go into the finals here.
Yes, that is my choice as well.
Is that both of your picks?
Yeah, that's my choice. Yeah.
All right. I would also choose Thriller.
I would hope so.
One of them has to go in.
If not both. I mean, honestly, you could go either way with Don't Stop Believin' or Billie Jean, and it would have been fine. But Thriller, in my opinion, is obviously the better of the two Michael Jackson songs. But let's talk a little bit about Careless Whisper, George Michael, Wham. What do you guys got to say about them?
Yeah, George Michael wrote this when he was a teenager.
Yeah, he was 17 when he wrote this song.
That's crazy. On a bus. Fictitious. Just
a fictitious bus?
Yeah.
No, the bus was real.
Yeah.
The story is fictitious.
Well, we don't really know. It could have been a fictitious bus.
The magic school bus.
Yeah. They went through, I think, 11 different people to try to nail that saxophone part. Like he had it in his head. This is how it's supposed to sound. Somebody would come in and play. He's like, no, that's not it. So they just kept going through until they found an English jazz musician. Steve Gregory. I don't know if he's the English jazz musician. My notes got all jumbled up there. So
Yeah.
maybe he's English. Maybe he's just Steve Gregory. But he got on there and hit that saxophone. You hit the saxophone? You play the saxophone?
You play the saxophone.
This is how you do it. And George Michael's like,
that's why the other 9 guys didn't get the job.
Yeah. George Michael's like, hit that saxophone. They're like,
so I get one of the challenges of playing that part that I was reading was playing all of those notes, those sustained notes in one breath without breaking. And that's what gives that solo the character that it has. But the only way they got that was actually by having him play the part and then slowing it down. So what you're hearing isn't actually how it was recorded. They recorded it faster and then slowed it down, which is how they got the sound that they have on the record, which is really cool. Yeah.
Well, for me, I wasn't a fan of George Michael or Wham in the style or in the way of like listening to full albums by either. But I did like a lot of songs from both. I mean, you obviously have Faith, which I think might be in our later list, or at least it was in one of the runnings there. Yeah. And then Freedom from 1990. I didn't know this, but he also did a duet with Elton John for "Don't Let the Sun Go Down."
Yep.
Yeah, that was such a terrific song.
It's a great song, but I did not know he was in there. Was he in the original, or did they re-release it together?
I don't remember, but I remember the music video.
Okay, and then "Wake Me Up Before You Go" from Wham is a fun song,
which led to the epic gasoline fight in Zoolander.
Well, hey, we're here in the finals, guys. This is it. We are here. Don't Stop Believing. Thriller. Michael Jackson. So it's Jackson versus Journey. People at home, where are you? Don't Stop Believing. Thriller. I guess like what Andy said. Let's go through each of these here. Let's go with "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. What do you guys got?
Mike doesn't like Journey.
Yeah, I'm not a huge. I just this song, man. It's at every wedding.
For a reason.
I can't. No,
I guess the chicken dance is too. But
I just can't. I just can't. Yeah. I like the chicken dance song better than I like "Don't Stop Believing."
What? I mean, come on. "Don't Stop Believing" is an anthem. It has one of the best opening keyboard riffs in rock. I mean, what's not to like about "Don't Stop Believing"?
I can't, to be honest with you, I can't quite put my finger on what I don't like about the song besides the fact that I don't like it.
You just heard it too much and now it's overplayed.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
I get that.
It regained popularity as being in the Sopranos series finale, Made in America. It also gets played at Detroit Red Wings games quite a bit for the 11 fans that go to that.
And the San Francisco Giants.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, no, it's a great song. It's one of my favorites of all time. It made it this far, obviously.
So, born and raised in South Detroit. You know where that is? There is no South Detroit.
Well, there's a southern part of Detroit. But...
Yeah, which is the Canadian city of Windsor. Not Detroit. Obviously, it went well. He said he tried North Detroit, East, West, and it just didn't sing well. So South Detroit sounded beautiful, and that's what he went with. The title of the song came from, I guess, the keyboardist Jonathan Cain's father. Basically, when Jonathan Cain was a struggling musician, he would call his dad, and his dad just told him, "Don't stop believing, or you're done, dude." And then
basically,
Full House came on. You got it, dude.
Moshi Moshi.
Moshi Moshi. House cream.
So, so I mentioned it earlier, but Steve Perry was the lead vocalist first, and then Steve, and forgive me, I think it's Augeri or Steve Augeri. He was the second white guy I was talking about. He was actually in the band from 98 to 2006. So I saw them in 2004. And then their latest singer is Arnel Pineda, who is a Filipino singer, who actually got the gig from singing their songs on YouTube.
Nice.
And he sounds exactly like Past Journey. If you were listening to them now, you probably wouldn't know that it was a different singer. He actually learned English from singing Journey songs.
Yeah, when he first started singing, he was just saying the words phonetically. He didn't know what he was saying. He was just saying the words.
And then if you don't know, now you know, the bassist of Journey right now is Randy Jackson from American Idol.
Well, that's interesting because I have a katana signed by Randy Jackson.
Nice. He was the bassist from 85 to 87.
Come on, people.
And then he came back in 2020. So Randy Jackson is back with Journey, which is kind of crazy to think about. But
yeah, but I threw a Step Brothers joke in there, and neither one of you numbskulls know what the hell is.
Step Brothers is not one of my.
I know. Oh, you made that
favorites.
abundantly clear in that episode. I'll never let you down.
All right.
Talk
Well,
about
hey,
Thriller.
What about Thriller? Yeah.
I mean, it's just a thriller.
Thriller.
Thrill of the night.
I mean, come on. Thriller's music video is, again, one of the best music, if not the best music video of all time. For me, if you haven't seen it, Smooth Criminal is a amazing music video as well by him, which actually was just a scene from his movie Moonwalker, which is a horrifying experience to watch. But you should. It's amazing.
Gotta save the children.
It is great. Thriller's a great song. I mean, if you do not get through a Halloween without listening to Thriller more than 5 or 10 times, is it really Halloween?
Yeah. It's like Monster Mash, Thriller.
Yeah. Vincent Price was brought in for the spoken dialogue. And the spoken dialogue was actually based on The Hounds of Baskerville by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Having that music video come out and premiering doubled the sales of Thriller. Sold over 1 million copies on VHS and became the best-selling videotape of all time. It basically transformed music videos into a serious art form. And it's weird because you don't think of music videos anymore, or at least I don't because I'm old. But like music videos aren't a thing anymore, at least in comparison to when we were kids. I remember like waiting for music videos to come on early MTV or VH1. Or even looking, trying to find VHS tapes that had compilations of music videos. I remember renting music video compilation VHSs from mom and pop movie stores. So
never returning them.
And never returning.
They're all in that closet behind me.
I know. I am single-handedly the reason why Movie Time Video in Warwick has shut down. So I apologize. I went to all the mom and pop.
I was a major video guy myself.
I was too. I owed them a lot of money. That was the one next to Park View, if I'm not mistaken. But major video, Hollywood video, Blockbuster video, and then I would go to all the mom and pops because they had a bunch of wrestling VHSs that the bigger ones didn't have.
You can never get them at Blockbuster.
There was a Doctor Video. If anybody remembers this, if you're a Rhode Islander, Doctor Video was where Subway is on Reservoir Ave, next to Dunkin' Donuts, and it was owned by a guy who lived on High School Avenue. Back behind East, and we would go in there all the time. Doctor Video is awesome. And then there was a video store next to Benny's on Park Ave that we used to go into all the time. Richard's video store. So it was just fun stuff. Hey, there's a lot of good mom and pop video stores. We actually just watched the last Blockbuster on Hulu or Netflix. I can't remember which one. And we had Eliza watching it with us, and we just reminiscing and telling her about going to them. Yeah, it's just they love hearing those stories of us talking to the phones on the wall and being attached to things and all that stuff. They love hearing those old stories of us old people. But
a mobile phone back then was having a 25-foot phone cord.
Yeah, you could actually sit down in a chair while being on the phone. That was like huge for me.
I was telling them. So I had a good friend named Dante, and Dante, if you're listening today, I'm going to embarrass you, but Dante had a cell phone in his car. It was one of those car phones that legit was like a phone with the wire from the middle of the car. And he also had in there the first time I ever saw a tape player that you would just press the button and it would know what the next song was, and it would fast forward to the next song on tape. And I thought that was the coolest thing.
So he was balling.
Yeah,
he was balling for a little while. Yeah.
Is he driving a Chrysler LeBaron? Like this is.
Where's your LeBaron?
That is high class.
Yeah.
So
Thriller. Yeah. Thriller had a bunch of different instruments on there. Like if you really listen, there's a lot going on there. Synthesizers, drum machines, more synthesizers, guitars, pianos, a pipe organ, a horn section which had trumpets, trombone, a flugelhorn.
A what?
A flugelhorn, a saxophone, and a flute. Look up what a flugelhorn is. I'm gonna look up what I don't believe you. And then you got different sounds going on because it's Halloween based. So you got like howling, which they tried to get a Great Dane in a barn overnight, and this Great Dane was like, "I am not having it, and I'm not making any noise." So Michael Jackson just did the howling himself.
Sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, creaking doors, a hornswoggle. Yeah, it was like, oh god,
a flugelhorn just looks like a weird trumpet.
Okay, so they could just put weird trumpet, and that would have sufficed.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't need to know what it's called.
Yeah, the music video they had to cut down too for like TV a lot of the time. So like sometimes you get the 4-minute version, be like, cool, that was awesome, and then other times you get like the
15-minute version.
Yeah, and it's like TRL's over or whatever. We're watching it on.
All right, well, what are we going for, guys? Man. Is this Thriller or is it the other one, Journey?
It's Thriller for me. It's Thriller for me. It's the first cassette I bought with my own money at what is that place called now? Now I don't remember what it's called. It was on the second floor of the Rhode Island Mall. No.
Oh, Saturday Night Matinee.
Is that what that place was called?
Something like that. Saturday.
Yeah.
So Tina will remember. She'll probably comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to
also
buy
Michael Jackson and I not only have the same initials, we have the same birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so pointless.
Yeah, well, I don't share a birthday with Steve Perry, so get Ben.
No, I appreciate your birthday knowledge, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going with Thriller too, for sure.
Thriller as well.
Do we have a cool song? Andy, where's your?
No, but we can have.
Oh, there it is. All right.
Guys, no, look, it was a group effort. Please stop. Come on, you guys are embarrassing us.
We embarrass ourselves enough.
I don't know what to do. They just keep clapping.
You know,
like my face is red. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Anyways, Michael Jackson. It was a great.
Artie doesn't know how just to kill a joke. He knows how to stab it multiple times, chop it up, put it in a garbage bag, and throw it out
with a golf club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about Thriller. Sorry, most expensive music videos. I thought this would have been one of them. It's not. Scream. It looks like cost $7 million.
That was the video with Janet, right?
It was
that weird CGI video where they're playing like handball in space or something.
Yeah, surprisingly, Black or White, also by Michael Jackson, cost $4 million. Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, $3 million. I don't even see now that I'm thinking about
pinnacle of class.
So you can make a music video on your cell phone.
They didn't have cell phones then.
I'm just saying. There was technology back then too. You could easily make a music video cheap.
But Scream,
especially in the 80s.
Scream was all computer generated, and
that's true.
Black or White had all that face morphing technology.
All
was
I'm
expensive.
saying is there's better things to put your money into, like
his face.
People who I won't get into it. But
anyways, hey, Thriller by Michael Jackson has made it. It is the #1 song of the first half of the decade, 1980 to 1984.
Yeah.
I don't know when we'll hit up the second thing, if we're going to do that next or we're going to push it a little bit out. But
no, let's do it. I said
we're just going to do it next.
80s.
Yeah. All right, 1985 to 1989 is next.
But this is important, folks. We won't be on Thursday next week.
Yes, important news. We may change the day for next week. I think we're still getting together next week, but I think we're shooting for Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But we will throw that out on Facebook for sure to let you guys know. June's going to be a little wonky for us, I think, just because we've got a lot of stuff going on. But as you know, summer is we're coming out in the open a little bit more in the summer here. So, but we are going to continue to bring you guys new episodes at least 3 times a month for you guys, so that we can continue to hang out with you guys this summer. Anything else, guys? Andy, Mike?
No,
I'm happy with happy with our choice. Let's let these folks go to bed.
Now, I didn't talk to Andy and Mike about this, but I'm assuming after we're done with 1985 to 1989, we take the winner of that versus the winner of today, and we combine it and make it the top winner of all time, or the 80s all time.
Winner of all time of the 80s.
Winner of the all time of the 80s.
The 80s, the 1980s.
Yes.
I mean, if we do the 1880s, I don't know if I'll know too many songs, but I'm willing to do it.
Let's do an 1880s episode, which will probably have a lot of flugelhorns in it.
Anyways, that's it, guys. Hey, thank you for joining. I don't know what that's from. Sometimes I put up comments and they're in the wrong time frame.
I think Tina's saying that Thriller is the top song of the 80s.
Okay. I don't know.
This is a great way to end the episode.
Oh gosh, sorry. Yeah, why not? But hey, thanks for joining us. I hope you liked our background as much as I did. It's a pretty sweet background. Yeah,
so
it is. It's great.
I wish I had laser beams. That's it.
Kind of looks like Tron.
Andy pointed out, so he had to brag because he was always able to get the laser backgrounds at school. While the rest of us had the dull blue.
I always wanted it. My mom was like, no.
She's like, we live in Cranston. What do you
do you want to eat dinner?
I don't know why. And why did that one cost so much more? Like
because it was cool.
They're not but they're not doing anything extra with it.
It was an Extreme with an X.
It's a green screen.
But I used to get
the lines,
lightning bolts in my hair. Like, how cool of a picture would that be with that background? Just saying, Mom, you missed out.
I'd do that now.
I'm glad you missed out on the pictures, but I'm glad you fed me. So.
I'm gonna try to green screen that into my background for next week.
All right. Well, hey, this has been an extremely long episode, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We did lose one viewer; they probably went to sleep. But other than that, thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you. We will see you next week on You Dad Me at Hello. You didn't ask for it, but we are. I haven't said that in so long. But here we are anyways.